Chapter 22. The Digital Divide, Late 20th Century, Present. The Internet as a Tool of Power. The Internet has been one of the most transformative inventions in human history, fundamentally reshaping how people communicate, work, access information, and participate in the global economy. Born from the collaborative efforts of scientists and engineers during the late 20th century, the Internet quickly grew into a tool that connected billions of people around the world by enabling instant communication and access to vast amounts of knowledge. The Internet promised to democratize information and provide unprecedented opportunities for personal, social, and economic development. However, as the Internet evolved into the central infrastructure of the digital age, a stark divide emerged between those who have access to its benefits and those who do not. This digital divide, the gap between individuals, communities, and nations with reliable access to digital tools and those without, has become a defining feature of the modern world. Access to the Internet is increasingly viewed as a prerequisite for full participation in the global economy, education systems, and even democratic processes. Yet the digital revolution has widened the gap between technologically advanced nations and developing countries, exacerbating existing inequalities and creating new forms of exclusion. In this chapter, we will examine how the Internet has become a powerful tool in shaping global geopolitics and economic structures, benefiting those with access while leaving others behind. As we make the case for AI as a human right, we will explore how the digital divide reinforces the imbalance in the distribution of technology and why equitable access to digital tools, especially the Internet and AI, is crucial for fostering global equality. The birth of the Internet, from research project to global network. The Internet began as a research project in the late 1960s, funded by the U.S. Department of Defense's Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA. Known as ARPANET, the project sought to create a decentralized communication system that could survive a nuclear attack by routing data through multiple nodes. Over the next few decades, the technology behind ARPANET evolved, with researchers developing key innovations such as packet switching and the Transmission Control Protocol/Internet Protocol (TCP/IP), which enabled computers to communicate across different networks. By the late 1980s, the Internet had expanded beyond its military and academic roots, becoming a platform for commercial and public use. The creation of the World Wide Web in 1989 by British scientist Tim Berners-Lee marked a turning point in the Internet's development. The web provided a user-friendly interface for accessing information, allowing people to browse websites, share content, and communicate with each other in ways that were previously unimaginable. As the Internet rapidly expanded in the 1990s, it transformed nearly every aspect of modern life. Email replaced traditional letters, search engines made vast amounts of information easily accessible, and e-commerce revolutionized the way people bought and sold goods. The digital revolution promised a world of interconnectedness and opportunity, breaking down geographical barriers and creating new possibilities for innovation and economic growth. However, this rapid transformation also exposed deep divides. While many people in wealthy, industrialized nations gained access to the Internet, large parts of the world, particularly in Africa, South Asia, and Latin America, remained disconnected. The infrastructure needed to support Internet access, including fiber optic cables, data centers, and wireless networks, was expensive to build and maintain, leaving poorer regions with limited connectivity. This uneven development of the Internet laid the foundation for the digital divide, a gap that would grow wider as the digital age progressed. The digital divide, unequal access to the Internet. The digital divide refers to the gap between those who have access to digital tools, including the Internet, and those who do not. This divide can be seen on multiple levels, including individuals, communities, and nations. In wealthier countries, where internet access is widespread, the divide often manifests as unequal access to high-speed connections or advanced digital devices. In contrast, in many developing countries, the divide is far more pronounced, with large segments of the population lacking access to even basic internet services. One of the most significant barriers to internet access in developing countries is the lack of infrastructure. In regions where electricity and clean water are not guaranteed, the idea of building and maintaining a high-speed internet network may seem like a distant priority. Rural areas in particular are often left behind, as internet service providers focus on more profitable urban markets. Additionally, the cost of internet access can be prohibitive for people living in poverty. Even when mobile networks are available, the price of data plans and smartphones can make the internet unaffordable for much of the population. According to United Nations estimates, as of 2021, approximately 2.9 billion people, nearly 37% of the global population, still lack access to the internet. This lack of connectivity is concentrated in developing regions, where disparities in income, education, and infrastructure limit access to digital tools. In sub-Saharan Africa, for example, internet penetration rates are significantly lower than the global average, with just 28% of the population online as of 2020. In contrast, wealthier regions like Europe and North America boast internet penetration rates above 90%. The consequences of the digital divide are profound. In the modern world, the internet is a gateway to education, economic opportunities, healthcare, and political participation. Those without access are effectively excluded from the benefits of the digital age, limiting their ability to improve their livelihoods, gain knowledge, or engage in civic life. The divide not only reinforces existing inequalities, but also creates new forms of marginalization, as those who are offline fall further behind in an increasingly digital world. The internet as a tool of power. While the internet has democratized access to information and created new opportunities for innovation, it has also become a powerful tool for those who control its infrastructure and flow of data. In the hands of governments, corporations, and wealthy nations, the internet can be used to reinforce political and economic dominance, shaping public discourse, surveillance, and commerce on a global scale. One of the clearest examples of this is the dominance of a few powerful technology companies, often referred to as big tech, which control much of the world's internet infrastructure and data. Companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft have created global platforms that touch nearly every aspect of modern life, from search engines and social media to cloud computing and ecosystems. While these platforms provide valuable services, they also wield immense power over the flow of information, raising concerns about data privacy, censorship, and monopoly practices. Governments have also recognized the internet's potential as a tool of control. In some countries, authoritarian regimes use internet censorship and surveillance to suppress dissent and maintain political power. By controlling access to online information, these governments can shape public opinion, limit opposition, and restrict free expression. The rise of cyber warfare and hacking has further demonstrated the internet's role as a battleground for geopolitical conflicts, with nation-states engaging in espionage, sabotage, and disinformation campaigns through digital channels. This concentration of power in the hands of a few actors, whether corporate or governmental, raises important questions about the future of the internet as a public resource. The promise of the internet as a democratizing force is at risk of being undermined by efforts to control and exploit it for political or financial gain. Ensuring that the internet remains an open and accessible platform for all requires careful regulation, oversight, and a commitment to digital rights. The digital divide and the rise of AI. As the internet has evolved into the central infrastructure of the digital age, the next frontier of technological advancement is artificial intelligence. AI. AI systems, which rely on vast amounts of data and powerful computing infrastructure, have the potential to revolutionize industries, improve healthcare, and enhance education. However, just as the digital divide limits access to the internet, there is a growing risk that unequal access to AI technologies will exacerbate global inequalities. AI is heavily dependent on data and computational power, both of which are concentrated in the hands of a few wealthy nations and large tech companies. Developing countries, which often lack the necessary infrastructure and resources to build and deploy AI systems, may find themselves falling further behind in the global race for technological innovation. This divide is not just about economic growth. It also affects healthcare, agriculture, and education, as AI-provided tools become essential in these sectors. The growing divide in access to AI is also evident in the education and workforce development needed to build and operate AI systems. Countries with advanced research institutions and tech industries, such as the United States and China, are leading the way in AI development, while many developing nations struggle to build the human capital necessary to participate in the AI economy. Without significant investment in education and infrastructure, the gap between AI haves and have-nots will continue to widen. This divide has profound implications for the future of global development and equity. If access to AI is limited to a privileged few, the benefits of these technologies, whether in healthcare, climate science, or economic productivity, will be concentrated in wealthy nations and corporations. Meanwhile, those without access will face increasing exclusion from the innovations that drive progress in the 21st century. AI is a human right, addressing the digital divide. The digital divide and the growing inequalities in access to AI raise fundamental questions about the role of technology in shaping the future of humanity. In an increasingly connected world, access to the internet and AI should not be viewed as luxuries or privileges but as fundamental human rights. Just as access to clean water, education, and healthcare are essential for human dignity and development, access to the tools that enable participation in the digital economy is crucial for ensuring global equality. Recognizing AI as a human right means committing to the idea that all people, regardless of their geographic location or economic status, should have the opportunity to benefit from the advancements in digital and AI technologies. This requires addressing the structural barriers that prevent people from accessing the internet and AI, including the high cost of infrastructure, the lack of educational resources, and the unequal distribution of technological power. Efforts to bridge the digital divide must focus on expanding internet access to underserved regions, investing in digital literacy programs, and promoting policies that ensure fair and equitable access to AI technologies. International cooperation, public-private partnerships, and a commitment to technological equity will be essential for creating a future in which AI serves as a tool for the common good, rather than a driver of inequality. Conclusion. The digital divide is one of the most pressing challenges of the digital age, as unequal access to the internet and AI threatens to deepen global inequalities and limit opportunities for billions of people. While the internet has brought unprecedented opportunities for connection, innovation, and progress, it has also reinforced existing power imbalances and created new forms of exclusion. As we move into an era increasingly defined by artificial intelligence, ensuring that all people have access to the digital tools that shape